Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Hadassa Lutz, she's been on the program before, and she's now a regular contributor on The Price of Business. She's with a company called EMC Corp, and that's EMC-corp.net. And as always, good to talk to you. How are you today?
Doing great, Kevin. Thank you very much for the invitation back to the show. You
bet. Well, we've been looking forward to it, and I just love visiting with you and love what you bring to the conversation. Tell us again, tell the listener about EMC Corp.
Sure. So EMC stands for Emerging Markets Communications, and our focus is providing communication solutions to difficult, hard-to-reach places around the world. Which is a topic that, we've discussed as far as how do we enable these solutions for, oil and gas companies or energy companies, and how do we adapt to the current market price or the changes and the impact to the oil and gas energy. So there's a lot of those areas that we can discuss in detail.
Yeah, very good, very good. What do you see happening out there? Obviously, a lot of people have been watching what's happened with gas and oil prices. And since the last time you and I had a serious conversation, things have certainly improved price-wise. I guess it's probably around $20 higher than the last time you and I chatted. But it's been a very dynamic market. What do you see? What are you seeing in your unique position, and how are your clientele looking at it?
It's interesting because what this change in the industry has basically pushed for is evaluating smarter, more efficient ways to provide connectivity into remote fields. And keep in mind that connectivity provides not only the business line for the company, but also helps from a safety and security and crew welfare standpoint. But with the drop in oil price, the focus on cost reduction and efficiency, customers are reaching out to, EMC to help redesign global networks, global satellite networks, to evaluate better ways through technology, as in hardware or software, to gain more megabits per megahertz, as an example, or tailor these crew entertainment solutions on a rig or on a vessel or in a remote camp in, Asia or Africa that adapts more to the cost reduction focus of every company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so you're really creating a paradigm shift.
It absolutely is being, accepted and viewed by the industry and customers as more and more as the standard. As you're looking for efficient networks, you're looking for that global provider. You're looking for someone that can give you a global, flexible solution that can help, accommodate the stacking of a rig or the changes in a vessel as it moves from one operating location to another. It's important for customers now to move away from, where you have a single site or a single solution that's being serviced by a single provider and moving towards a global approach. And when it comes to a global operator, EMC absolutely stands out with other, in the industry. There are very few companies that can provide such a global coverage, and what's important, that presence in these remote fields to be able to support the customer locally.
Yeah, no question about it. So, where are you located? You're literally around the world, aren't you?
Absolutely. We actually operate in over 150 countries. And what I mean by operate, not only do we provide services in these countries, we provide the local, very important local field engineering support. We also have global teleports, over 16 global teleports that we operate out of, including a fully owned, the second largest teleport in the world that's fully owned by EMC. So we are truly a global company that we can provide those services for our customers anywhere they need.
Yeah, that's amazing. How old is the company again?
EMC has been in business for over 15 years. There's been a lot of activity, a lot of acquisitions and growth in the last couple of months that, extends our experience well beyond 20 plus years in the industry.
Yes. And how long have you been with the company?
I've been with EMC for about 2+ years, and I've joined with the focus in growing and supporting our energy vertical.
Yeah, that's interesting. And your work is entirely in the energy field.
It is. I am the president of energy of oil and gas, and I am responsible for the segment of oil and gas energy within EMC.
So how quick or how rapid have the changes been in the technologies of emerging market communications over the last few years?
What's unique about this industry is that we're constantly changing. There are constantly newer technologies that help optimize satellite communication coming online. And there's always that balance between, do we leverage this technology today for a customer? When is the right time to take advantage of this? And as you may know, satellite's usually the last resort because it's a very expensive solution, and it's only required where there are no alternatives. There are no fiber networks in place. And what's unique about EMC is we have our internal R&D centers where we've developed and patented over 16 technologies that help optimize VSAT. So we're testing these internally. We're developing, we're testing them. We're basically proving that value within our services before being rolled out to customers. And that is truly a unique approach for a service provider to have R&D centers internally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question about it. And it's a very innovative company, and it's very fun to watch and to hear your stories. EMC is in oil and gas, but I do want to mention that just for the listener out there that you also cover a lot of other industries, maritime, mobile network operators, global enterprise, global cruise and ferries, mega yachts. You've got pretty huge tentacles out there.
Yes, and it's actually very important to do so. The advantage of that, and again, my focus is the oil and gas segment and customers, but the advantage for our energy customers in relying on a global company like EMC that is significantly diversified is taking advantage of the fact that we're operating in many of these countries, in many of these regions, whether it's supporting our UN or our government customers in Africa or in Asia or in Latin America, where we're coming into these countries early on, building the support model locally, extending that coverage there, and sometimes before our energy customers have requirement. It also allows us to take advantage of the scale. I mean, we provide VSAT connectivity for more local carriers in Africa, as an example, than any other provider of our kind. And that scale allows us to extend that advantage and that option for our customers in other segments.
Hadassa Lutz, she is really an interesting lady with a phenomenal story. The company there is EMC Corp, and that's EMC-Corp.net, and I'm looking forward to the interviews we have in the months to come. And any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, and that's great. We are as well. Moving forward, we will be extending some of these conversation points to key customers that I believe will bring a lot of perspective on the impact of the changes in the industry and how does this apply to their communication requirements and solutions, and how are they evaluating efficient, smarter ways of deploying communications. And again, the uniqueness of EMC's position in being able to provide this for our customers will be an area of conversation moving forward as well.
Well, I think it's going to be a great story unfolding here on the program, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, Hadassa. And again, that's EMC-com.net. EMC, I'm sorry, -corp, rather, .net. and very interesting. Emerging markets communications, and a very important field indeed that probably touches most of our lives every time we go to the gas pump and that type of thing, because all of these things, including communications, are wrapped up in the price of all those products we enjoy, and you help keep them competitive, so we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to talk again about emerging markets communications.
You bet. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here can be found over there at usdatareview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.